Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Blues, 1975.
Welcome to another comparison video. In this video I'll be taking a look at Street Fighter Alpha 3 running on my modded Xbox, which was originally released by Capcom in the arcades in 1988 and running on the CPS2 hardware. It was released somewhere after the original Street Fighter 3, and it's before its second sort of update, and there were numerous updates to Alpha 3 or 03 depending on which region you're from. And yeah, I just want to show this because obviously I couldn't show you a comparison of arcade against the Sega Saturn because it never got a release on that. Obviously my last comparison video within this series was the Sega Saturn Street Fighter Alpha 2. We're going way back, you know, in these comparison videos that I do. And that's an absolutely fantastic port. The reason I want to compare this against the PlayStation, or in this case my PlayStation Classic, and yes, it will be Street Fighter 03 on that, because that happened to be the ROM that was on the memory stick when I loaded it onto my PlayStation, is because there are awful home ports of the Capcom CPS fighting games on the PlayStation because of its lack of memory compared to the Saturn, although you could argue sometimes that was because of additional memory that came in a cartridge. So stuff like Street Fighter versus X-Men is absolutely appalling, but that does not mean, even though, you know, when it comes to stuff like Alpha 2 you know, and Alpha 3, just because the Saturn version is way superior, you should turn your nose up at these because they do play quite well. This is not my favourite entry into this series. My favourite entry is obviously 0 or Alpha 2. This one ditches the two block things for 3 different modes that are known as isms, and it adds 2 extra characters. I can't really tell you much more than that because I did not pour anywhere near the amount of my life I did into 02 as I did to 03, because I did have Japanese version on my original PlayStation back in the day, but that's not to say I didn't like it. Now, for the point of fairness, because we're going to be looking at how they play next to each other, and I guess obviously the animation frames and stuff like that, and lag. But I'm going to edit as much as I can the loading times out on the PlayStation Classic version, simply because we know it's going to suck. We know it's absolutely going to be appalling on that, and it's not really that we're judging, because we know, well, it's gonna suck. See prior statement. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's playing this on an X. This is where it's going to be weird, and I'm not an expert at this. Playing this on an Xbox pad, which means I have to use the black and white buttons below the you know, the regular coloured buttons for some of the additional moves, which is going to be weird, but you know, hopefully I can do enough credible fighting for us to see what it looks like. Anyway, let's go. More money. Money. Right, 1 or 2 plus start. Right, so your roster, gonna go with Ryu or Ken. I do like the anime. I should get to the point, otherwise it's gonna pick a character for me. I do love this anime style, I really do. Where the hell is, there he is. No, that's, what's his name from Final Fight? Because obviously this mixes up characters from Ken. Yeah, we'll go with Ken. No, we'll go with, oh, he's on the other side. Mixes up characters from Final Fight, Street Fighter 1 and stuff like that. So I don't know what the 2 new characters are. Look, there you go. You've got 2 isms, standard, variable. We'll go with variable. Now obviously there are loads and loads of versions of this, but Turbo 1, Turbo 2, Turbo 1, Camera 2, Camera 1, Camera 2, points for the quote. It's a pretty fucking easy one. Yeah, that's a really good port, this, on the Game Boy Advance, believe it or not, and I might do a comparison of that at some point, although I do have a gameplay of it, but I love the graphic style in this game, I really do. And it's funny because I never got to play Street Fighter 3 until a few years ago. That was just hard to find. The first time I saw it was at Heathrow Airport, a single cab. So that whole thing missed me by. So I went straight from Street Fighter, you know, 2 or Super Turbo 2 X or Master Challenge or whatever it's against him first, really, into the Alpha series or 0 series. Right. So what are the buttons? Is that? I don't know. Get some of that in your life, you evil bastard. Yoink! Boom! Was it in Japan? Gookie? Oh, cheeky. I do not get on. Excuses, excuses. I do not get on with the Xbox pad for fighting. I don't get on the 360 pad for fighting, because for fighting games you got to use the D-pad and they're too raised. It's a bit too thumb rapey-tastic. I love that ticker tape effect that goes through the middle, and the graphics are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, lots of people say that they just constantly rinsed and repeated this with minor updates and stuff like that, and it, you know, it showed lack of love for, you know, the franchise and stuff. But I don't know. Ooh, I really like the, you know, little tweaks and stuff. The breaking in my talking. Because I can't concentrate and fight a demigod at the same time. Oi! Hands off. Yay, sexy! That was really poor Street Fighter skills, I know. But if you could see the button layout I'm using right now, it's like blue, yellow, and then white. It's, think original Xbox or Duke pad. It's, you know, like your punches. And then green, red, and black, the little ones at the bottom, is your kicks. But the small ones are the weak ones. It's odd. Obviously, when we get to the PlayStation version, I can map the buttons accordingly. Cammy, Kylie, see what I did there? But not on this one. So polished. Look at the windmill. I shouldn't do a dragon punch in front of that. You know, health and safety. Jesus. Easy, Kylie. Do you know Kylie was apparently banging Van Damme during Street Fighter the movie? Can't blame him, can you? I was so disappointed with that movie because I was so looking forward to that movie. I mean, obviously they're going to make it a kid movie, even though you could technically argue the subject matter wasn't, but yeah, what a pile of shit that was. I mean, I can watch it as an adult for shits and giggles, and fun and shit, and a joke after the pub and stuff, but what a wasted opportunity. I'm not going to lie though, there's worse ways to die than between Cammy's thighs. Oh, that's right, she's brainwashed by him, isn't she? Yoink! Cheap cow. It's amazing, isn't it? The game that's almost 20 years old. Is 20 years old. 21 years old. Can still impress. Impress, not impress. I'm not Sean Connery. Ouch! Ouch! I mean, misproportioned hand. And obviously, if it's Cammy, I think the following quote will make sense. Someone's flossing. Right, let's go with a quick go with Ryu, potato, tomato, and all that. There we go. Let's try the second one, but we're going to go the same speed. Hang on, but my suit was white. I know it sounds stupid. I don't like fighting with my suit being the wrong colour. With any character. Look at my permatan. Very day old Winton. This vein bastard, isn't it? So when I play the second part of this in Zero, does that mean the names are going to be reversed? I can't remember.
Face it straight.
Wasted. Burning hair. Hey, get your Scottish claw back. No. This padded me or not. Sitting in the tree KISSING. Cheeky. Hey, you got one in after he died. Right. I love that ticker tape. I am understanding that I want to basically repeat myself a lot in this. With awkward pauses and shit like that. Coming close. That's why I wanted him to come in close. I saw that I was charged. glove, shouldn't it? For the points of fairness, you know. If you bought a knife to a regular fight, why can't I use it? Do you know what? This looks lovely and fantastic. Let's have a look at the PlayStation 1 version, albeit 03, running on my PlayStation Classic.
Street Fighter.
So here we go, Street Fighter 03. As you can see from the title screen, it's pretty much exactly the same thing. It's just 0 instead of Alpha, and there's going to be a lot of Japanese text. But as I said, I wanted to compare this, the PlayStation, against the arcade, because I want more PlayStation versus arcade comparisons. And yeah, you know, I want to prove that not all reports, you know, because of the lack of memory on the PlayStation, were pants. Anyway, let's get into it. So here we are on the main options screen. I forgot, it's a little bit kind of confusing and overwhelming because it's in Japanese and stuff like that, and I've changed the layout of the buttons to how I want to use them when I fight, but unfortunately that means progressing forwards and backwards in these menus is a little bit clunky. But that's my fault, not the game's fault, and as you can see, it's got added features and stuff like that. World, you know, tour, training mode, that's kind of handy. I'm not going to use it, I never used it. Arcade mode, and then option mode, but I can't read Japanese, and you can use your Pocket Station. I completely forgot about the Pocket Station. That was only really a thing in Japan, wasn't it? Was that because of the whole thing that was with the Sega Dreamcast having the memory that you could see with it on the screen and take it out and play little mini games and stuff like that? I don't know. My brother never actually had. Well, no, he did have one of those with his Dreamcast, but I had a PlayStation 2 at that point, so I wasn't really interested in playing it, but I wish I did now. Right, arcade mode, so progress. Yeah, these. Gonna try and skip as many of these as I can. That one wasn't too bad. So let's go with, so that looks the same. Let's go with Ken, as we did the first time in the arcade version. Right, there we go, and we'll go with... oh, he's got more isms. Does that mean this is not a port of the original arcade machine? Well, we'll go with ism 1 there. I hate saying ism, because I think you all know why. Just think of a letter, and then it becomes filth. Right, Turbo 1. Right, he's probably saying something saucy like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and my eyebrows don't match my hair. Cuffs and collars and all that. Right, but oh, I haven't mapped the shoulder buttons. I've mapped it so I've got weak, strong, high using the first two shoulder buttons, but I haven't mapped it so you've got like 3 punches and 3 kicks, which you would use to, you know, incite your magic or special moves, because that seems a bit unfair compared to the arcade. But so far, you know, this is nice and polished and stuff like that. Press, no, that's for him. Because, yeah, what he said. Boom. Right. So who am I fighting? Birdie. Alright, I'll have a pop. He's obviously from Street Fighter 1, isn't he? Right, so the things we're looking out for is animation, basically.
Go for it, man.
Cheeky. Yoink. I don't, see, I've always, and excuses straight away. I've always preferred the Saturn pads, or any pad, like the, you know, the 6-button Mega Drive pad, because basically I like my fighting game if it uses 6 buttons to be in line. That's just me. It's weird, jumping from an Xbox pad to a PlayStation 1 pad. I've just kind of fried my brain. I mean, the thing is, when you're stuck in the fight itself, and obviously it set me up with a different opponent, you don't really notice the lack of animation and stuff like that. When I watch this back in editing, I guarantee I will see it. Cheeky! Well, that was wasted, wasn't it? I love the fact that he's got a headbutt. So does that mean moveset and stuff like that is because this, because obviously there were 3 variations of Alpha or 03? I'm not sure. I'm clutching at straws. Like I said, I never sunk as much time into the PlayStation port as I did. Oh, I didn't cut this one out, as I did the Alpha 2 or 02. But I never played this in the arcade either. He's probably saying something else like, I'm an arrogant twat again. Really loses its impact in Japanese, doesn't it? it is nice and polished.
Waiting for you.
As polished as the arcade. Like I said, if you're in the fix of it, you don't notice the lack of animation. You're kind of getting a bit for it. A bit of difference in the sprite sizes and stuff like that.
Namaste.
Oh, this bloke.
Go for it, man. You are fighting. You are fighting.
Nope. Balls.
You are.
See? I've got flame on as well. You know, it looks really, really nice. Like I said, the worst one of these fighting games, even though we're comparing 0-3 on PlayStation to this, is it's Street Fighter versus X-Men. But I find Marvel Superheroes absolutely fine. I didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom back in the day to know how that fared, but yeah. I think it just was in the shadow that we knew that the Saturn version was just so much better. It's some of that in your bony face. The backgrounds are super, super nice. I mean, they shouldn't take a hit, should they, really? I mean, are there reflections? Are we going to get to a level where there are reflections?
I've never seen a battle like this.
Stick around. You're going to see me suck. The background's like talking.
You proved yourself.
Yeah, and you touched yourself. It's a weird jump from pad to pad, but I do prefer this one. Can you imagine a PlayStation 1 pad? You still got the shoulder buttons, but you had inline 6 buttons. Cheeky! I love that axe kick. Sexy! Oh, I just remember that Blanca from the movie. Oh, my God. The original anime movie's fantastic. The Zero anime movie's rubbish. Are there any more animated ones? Cheap Shot! I like it. Makes the Scooby-Doo noise. Ow! Referee! I'm getting pummeled here. Good one, Raggy. Dragon Punch! I broke my equal thumb. It's all raw from the Xbox pad. Honestly, that's the excuse I'm sticking to, Governor. Balls. How do you do your magic again? I'm having problems. Five-all! I've worn my arms out. I'm a little girl now. Woo! That's what we call a cheap save shot. This looks fantastic. I'd be hard pushed during it to notice, you know, obviously the loading time would be an obvious reminder, but to notice that I wasn't playing the arcade game. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really, really impressed. As always, I'd love to know what you think. Did you play this version, or the arcade version, or both? And, you know, did it disappoint? Or were you actually quite impressed with the port it was? Loading times aside. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.